Peanut Summer 5, hello, hello. You're the first one, I think. Good morning, good morning. Second day in a row, cardio Q&A. Let's do it. Let's do it. Did you get the notification that I came on? I hope so. I hope I don't got to start all that all over again, but I'm glad to see you on here. We'll do a 30 minutes or so. Ease my way back into it, trying to baby this back. Just had a little hangout session for a little while with baby Enzo. How are you doing, man? What's going on? Dogs are here hanging out, watching. I know that I've been super MIA on here. Haven't been doing videos, haven't been doing cardio Q&A. I got to get back on my grind, as they say. But my workouts have been going really good. That's for sure. Looks like it's a little cloudy out here today so far. Hoping we get some nice weather so I can go for a little walk with baby Enzo. Baby Enzo turned 1 month old on the 4th. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. And that's it. We'll see if we can get some questions rolling in. I'm happy to answer them. I see you got people on here, but nobody's asking any questions yet. Welcome to everybody that's on here, Cardio Q&A. I used to do this every single day. I did it for years until I went to prison. Came home, brought it back. Oh, look at that. Clever title there. Sickening. Speaking of Jason Genova, he's been blowing me up. When can I see you again? When are we getting together again? When are we getting together again? I'm like, I had to tell him, listen, my schedule is really, really weird because of the baby. So I don't know. Anyway, trying to sell some coin books on IG. Are you guys following his coin page? He got rid of the regular page. He basically figured he could start this coin page and he wouldn't have any trolls. His precious metals or whatever it's called page. He's very into it. He's very, very, very into it. Am I gonna have a 1 month celebration for baby Enzo? No. So we tried to do a little mini photo shoot. Put a little outfit on him, set him up. He was just not having it. He was in a very bad mood. And as soon as we put the little hat on him, he started screaming. So I do have some pictures of him crying in his little outfit. And we bailed out on the shoot after that. So no. But he's doing good. Zionic, good morning, man. 225.6, good stuff, baby. Zionic, I finally followed you back after all this time. I found you in my thing. I don't know why it was so hard for me to find you. I guess I wasn't typing it in all the way the right way. Very strange. Very, very strange. But I did it actually this morning. I was happy to finally do it. I was up super early and I was killing some time and I freaking finally found it. Mark Dog, good morning, man. Good to see you. This is my second day in a row back on cardio Q&A. I'm not gonna lie, my back was feeling a little weird last night. Not bad, but a little weird. But I did do a lot yesterday. I did a lot. We did legs, and I did shit all day long around the house, cleaned. We were doing stuff, setting up the baby's room. I probably did like 5 or 6 loads of laundry. And it was feeling a little weird. Not pain, just felt a little weird. But I'm gonna be careful, I'm not gonna overdo it. Nathan, happy to see you, bro. Try keeping your hand on his head. Maybe it just needs to get used to having something up there. Yeah, I could try that. Let Jason hold baby Enzo. He'll stop crying. Laura's a great guy. You might be right about that. You might be right. I'm going to have to make sure I make him wash his hands for a solid 3 minutes, though, before I let him dare touch baby Enzo. What else do we have going on here? Zionic, I'm glad that you I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Listen, guys, I'm planning on getting back to doing these every day, so be on the lookout for 9 a.m. And I know a lot of people thought that it was because of the baby that I wasn't doing them, and it was because I blew my back out. You know, my schedule is different because of the baby, so I got more time to kill in between my workout and now. But I'm planning on getting back into it. How is Blackstone doing? So from what I understand, they're doing good. You know, I'm not allowed to be involved in the business until I finish probation, so I stay out of the way. But, you know, from my conversations with Billy and Chris Luke, seems like they're doing a lot better. And that makes me happy. I've seen more different faces posting, which is cool. Looks like there's some new people involved in the Legion. I like to see that. A lot of new people I'll have to meet when I'm done with all this. Nathan says, I'm on week 2 of cutting my caffeine and taking half, taking adrenal care. Let's just say I'm dragging ass. Yeah, good thing you got that adrenal care. Good thing. I'll tell you what I started doing, Nathan, is I started taking more caffeine when I had this baby, and I'm actually taking a 3rd dose of adrenal care to try to not burn myself out. Usually all I have is a pre-workout in the morning, and that's pretty much it. But I've been having coffee also now. In fact, I had some coffee at like 8 o'clock. And so I added in some extra adrenal care to see how long this goes on for. But stick with it, buddy. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. Yeah, back injuries are no fun. I think eventually what I'm going to do is, now that we have the stem cells, the umbilical stem cells, I'm going to finally do some really good research on the best surgeon I can get for this. And we'll get this stem cell transplant going on, because I just can't keep constantly dealing with this, you know? Constantly dealing this. Nathan, how long are you planning on cutting the caffeine? Are you trying to wipe it all the way out? Are you doing a slow and steady, you know, titrating down? What's your end goal here? You're trying to be caffeine free for a little while? I did that for a while, actually. Back in like 2013, it was right when I first moved to Florida. I went through a full detox. I wanted to completely detox myself after everything that I had gone through in bodybuilding. And I went through a juice fast period, and I wiped out caffeine for 30 days. It was tough. It was tough. What kind of coffee drink do you take, brother? Rated is based on taste, smell, and texture, please. Well, for me, when I'm drinking coffee now, to make it easy, I just make the same thing for Marissa. So whatever kind of coffee make creamer she has, that's what I'll use. Now, you gotta adapt, right? So when I was in prison, I did the Folgers Black, which is the nastiest coffee that you can drink. So I'll tell you, my Folgers Black was a triple shot, 3 teaspoons of that Folgers Black, and I put how many Sweet and Lows did I put in there? Maybe three packets of Sweet and Low in there with it. Small amount of water. Shot that baby down with that 190 that they give you in the prison. That was my morning blast when I was in prison. Now we have a Keurig So the way I do it with the carry, guys, is whatever's the cheapest at Costco. You get those big ass things, a friggin' Paul Newman's, whatever, coffee, break it down, whatever's the cheapest one per cup, 27 cents per cup, whatever it is. You buy a friggin' 120 of them. That's what I do for coffee. But sometimes, on the weekend or whatever, I'll have a little Americano, fancy it up a little bit. Yeah, Nathan, the thing with caffeine is it sucks when you wipe it out, but you actually completely desensitize yourself by taking too much, right? And that's why you just keep taking more and more. You're kind of chasing that dragon, so to speak. People drink coffee all day and they're still tired. So what happens is, this is the coolest thing about it. What happens is when you detox, man, those receptors come back really fresh. They come back really fresh. So this is before we even had adrenal care. I did a detox. I did a juice fast detox, right? So I didn't eat any food all day. I drank these ridiculous juice concoctions that I was making. Took so much time chopping up all these vegetables and whatnot, beets and everything. And when I was done, I swear, I could not even have a full cup of coffee because I was tweaking out so hard. And I only did a 30-day detox. So you'll be surprised. Now you have the adrenal care to ease the shitty withdrawals. Tanya, I know, Tanya, I'm happy to see you. Even though I can't really see you, I can see it looks like a backlash spread on here. Getting jacked. But I'm happy to have you on here, I should say. I'm telling you guys, it was the craziest thing. I nursed myself back to health, did one session of cardio Q&A, got off, and my back was just wrecked. Took me about a week to get back to normal. And I didn't even think about it. Took me about a week to get back to normal. My first day feeling somewhat normal, got on cardio Q&A, got off, and that was the day where I really blew my back out pretty bad again. And listen, the only correlation that I can say was both days that I blew out my back, I had done cardio for the first time after recovering. So I guess I wasn't recovered. So yesterday I was like, okay, I've really babied it for a while. Let's just do a stroll and see how it goes. And I think I'm okay. So it's really annoying having back injuries. I've been dealing with this for years. But I don't quit, that's for sure. I find my ways to work around it. Nathan, I'm glad that you're smart enough to do that, man. I really am. Proud of you. Let's see here. Tank Lee, does adrenal repair help with withdrawal from substances like anxiety medicines? It was designed specifically for adrenal support. Now, stimulants take their toll on your adrenal glands, but so do other medications. So do some SSRIs and also some anti-anxiety medicines. So what you could get potentially, Tank Lee, is some calming effect, especially because there's that magnesium glycinate in there, which is very, very good for that aspect of it. So it could, in theory, help with that, yes. I'm wearing good old-fashioned Hirachis, Scatman. I like to wear Hirachis because they have very good arch support, and that's important for me. There's no barefoot stuff for me. I can't do anything. All this barefoot bullshit that people do, I can't do any of that. I need to have really good arch support. I'll have a lot of issues if I don't do that. To be honest with you, I used to wear orthotics, and I probably should put them back in. I don't know why I don't wear them anymore. I had some really nice orthotics fitted. Had a doctor fit them for me. Not like the little simple Dr. Scholl's ones. I had really good, an actual foot doctor that watched me walk on a treadmill and then took some scans of my feet and explained to me that there are basically 6 categories of people when it comes to their style of walking and the way that their weights are distributed, yada, yada, yada. And honestly, I wore them through most of my bodybuilding career. It was Dave Palumbo that told me to do that. And once I retired from bodybuilding, I kind of just got lazy with all that stuff. And guess what? I fucking wrecked my back multiple times. So, and I always had a healthy back all those years. I was lucky. All those heavy squats and deadlifts, I never hurt myself like that. Let's see. Oh man, I know. You know what it was? Being on summer is I had that prednisone. The prednisone is a true gift from God. It really is. Boy, did it wipe the pain out fast, because regular your narcotic painkillers don't do shit for me except for make me feel high and sick. They don't actually work on the pain aspect of things, so we can't have that. Josh, thank you so much. You know what, Tankly, I've experimented with kava before plenty of times. Maybe I should give it another go. It was not my thing. I love kratom. I've talked about that plenty of times. When I used to go over to the kratom bar, it was really a kava bar, and everybody would be doing their shells up, and I would try to drink it a little bit. It just tastes like muddy ass, gross, dirty water. And I never really noticed much of a calming effect from it. But maybe I need to give it another chance. This is something that I haven't tried in years. So let me see here. Let me talk about something with you guys. Somebody asked earlier, have I started watching Mobland? Yes. So only 2 episodes so far. I'm really into it. Love Tom Hardy. Love what they're doing. Good action. I just finished, if you guys have seen on Amazon Prime, they just came out with a new series with Kevin Bacon. I don't know anyone that doesn't like Kevin Bacon. How could you not like Kevin Bacon? So there's a new series with Kevin Bacon. We already watched the entire thing this weekend. It's awesome. Kevin Bacon's a bounty hunter. He's great. Fighting demons from hell. Good stuff. Total cliffhanger ending. And what else? Wheel of Time is one of my favorites, literally ever. I know that's a bold statement, guys. My number 1 is Game of Thrones. Actually, my number 1 might be Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. Those are my 2. Honestly, I think Wheel of Time for me is 3. That's how good it is. So we're into the new season of Wheel of Time, getting very, very juicy with what's going on. We both love that one. Sopranos is in my top 5. Yeah, Sopranos was my number 1 until Breaking Bad. I've watched Breaking Bad, so I've watched Game of Thrones 3 times. I've watched Breaking Bad so many times. It never gets old. And each time I watch it, I'm like, damn, this is the best show ever. Yes, of course I remember the 6 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon. It's true. It's true. But that one's a good one. I think you guys will like it. I have not watched Halo. We watched Landman, loved it. You guys know that. That was a Nathan recommended that one for me. If you guys are wondering why I keep looking out the window, it's because there are people pacing around out here, and I'm not used to that. Mervam Sun, hello. I am doing cardio Q&A. Rewatch The Sopranos, and damn, they're horrible people. Yes. I should probably rewatch Sopranos. It's been a long time. What do you think about Arnold's Foo Bar? I don't really have the same interest in Arnold that I once did as a young man. Now, we talked about the whole, fuck your freedom and all that, and I'm kind of over all that stuff now. I remember him for the great things he did in the 80s. When you rewatch Breaking Bad, do you fast forward through the part when Skylar sings Happy Birthday to Ted? Because I do. Yeah, that's a tough one. The way that Ted breaks his neck is one of the most unintentionally funny scenes that I've ever seen in a movie before. Am I going to be attending any convention shows this year? So that's a very good question. So maybe, probably not. Getting approval to do all this stuff is a pain in the ass. If you're going to see me anywhere, it would be probably at a Florida show. There's a lot of shows down here. And, I'm friends with a lot of the people that runs the shows down here. So Blackstone Labs usually sponsors a lot of the shows down here. So you may see me, I was at the Chisel Classic when I first was allowed out. We're in like hardcore parenting mode right now. This week we have another ultrasound on little Enzo's hips, 2-week checkup on the Pavlik harness brace that he has to wear. Tank Lee says Breaking Bad has those moments that you watch through your fingers. Yeah, like when I'll tell you when the scene when Pinkman and his girl blast the heroin and she overdoses, and Walter White is there and could save her but doesn't. That's a rough scene. That's a tough scene. Bodybuilding question: do I think Nick will make it to the Mr. O this year? Listen, based on Pittsburgh, who's showing up? Probably not. He's probably going to have a backup plan for a show or multiple shows. Going to be interesting to see some things that were going on. I've been watching bodybuilding a lot closer this year than I did last year. So, I watched the last show with the black backdrop was fantastic. I wish they would do that at all bodybuilding shows. I really wish they would do that at all bodybuilding shows. It was so nice to see that. And even though I'm not a fan of William Bonac, he looked fantastic at that show. And I shouldn't say I'm not a fan of him. I don't even know him as a person. I'm just not the biggest fan of his physique. But he looked nasty. I got to give it to him. He was the clear winner there, but he got pushed. It was a good fight. Now, with the FIBO coming up this weekend, I've been following along with Sergio Oliva Jr., who I am a fan of, and he looks considerably bigger now, especially in his back. His legs, I think, are still not quite as good as his upper body. He kind of lacks the sweep to his quad, but he does have very good inner thigh thickness and separation. And I was looking forward to seeing what he was going to do at FIBO, but it looks like Andrew Jack just jumped into the show, which I think could spoil Sergio's comeback party, which is interesting now, because Andrew Jack at 90% pretty much beats just about everybody else. So if he's 100%, then I don't see anybody beating him. Tank, I agree. Bonac is a squatty to me. He has some very deep muscle separation, though. And some of his shots really, really pop. So as far as Pittsburgh goes, listen, if Derek shows up the way he just showed up, I mean, nobody's going to beat that, So I think that's very interesting. I think that you have to worry about Martin also at that show. So we may have to see Nick at another show later this year. So, I mean, there are other shows that he can jump in. You got the New York Pro coming up, but it looks like there's some some pretty big boys doing the New York Pro. Also, you've got a guy that I'm really watching closely now, Colossal Ken on Instagram. What a monster. Really looking forward to seeing him at the New York Pro. If you guys haven't checked him out, go check him out. He looks crazy. He looks crazy. So much muscle. And he's actually aesthetically pleasing too. Coach K, shout out. Everybody loves Coach K, yes. I don't know, Tank Lee, do you think that Nick will make it? He's got to be peeled beyond peeled, that's for sure. He's got to be freaky peeled beyond peeled because we know that Derek is going to bring it. I'm going to stay on here for a few more minutes, guys. Not going to do too much this first week back. Probably just keep it at 30 minutes, but I appreciate you guys coming on here and doing this with me. I'm going to try to get back consistent with it again. My body is responding pretty well to everything I'm doing. I hit my first goal at 225. I actually broke 225, but I'm not looking as good as I wanted to look, so we're going to keep on grinding. Tank, I agree with you. The thing is, the thing with Nick is he came on the scene really strong. And so far it doesn't seem that he's really gotten better. If that makes sense. It seems that he has changed his physique a little bit, but not necessarily for the better. I don't know what the reasoning is between that. But for how freaky he was when he first came on, I don't know. Something's going on. But you're right when you say there are guys that have caught up to him. I personally think that Martin will beat him also. Martin, to be honest with you, if he really nails the condition, will push Derek more than he did at the Olympia. That will be an interesting comparison with those two. But Derek looked really damn good at the Arnold. Aqua is doing a comeback, really. Wait, like, do they have new songs, or are they just re-blasting out all the old ones? Yeah, Tank Lee, I am a fan of Martin, for sure. You know, there's a few guys that I really like. Bodybuilding is interesting because you can be fans of guys that don't have similar physiques at all. I think Andrew Jacked has got one of the coolest looking physiques I've ever seen. He just looks crazy. I don't see how people could not be a fan of him. Now Martin, his physique is really dramatically different, right? Dramatically different, but I'm a fan of his also. Very balanced, great thickness, great density. Nathan says 30% of the world's internet traffic is porn. I believe that. How has this new porn ban that they've been doing affected the industry? I'm interested in that. I was shocked when all that stuff went down. No more Pornhub is crazy to me. That was a staple of my life for many years. I don't know what that says about me. What will be the fitness fad of 2025? That is a good question. It's probably going to be based around that Saratoga water that has been, going viral because of that ridiculous guy's stupid videos. Amazing. I like Grego too, Tank Lee. Awesome physique. Yes, very awesome physique. What does the ban entail? What they want is, they want you to, in order to view the pornographic material, they want you to give your driver's license information, pictures and whatnot, in order to view it. And so what happened now is a lot of the companies have decided to push back against that and say, we think that's a violation of your personal rights to freedom, and so we're not going to show porn in your state. So for instance, the state of Florida is requiring that, right? Now there are other states that are doing it too. So what they're saying is, we're not going to let, we're not going to have our rights to get taken advantage of, so we're just going to remove Pornhub from Florida. So you can't log in and see Pornhub if you live in Florida. Now, I know people use VPNs and things like that to do it. Now, so what I have seen, for my own curiosity, is, for instance, certain sites, like for instance, Xhamster is one that I found that what they will do is they will basically say, we will do a scan of your face to prove that you are of age. So you can hit accept, and it tells you to look. It tells you to look at the site, and it scans your face, and then actually, you are actually allowed to view after that. But you know what I mean? Like, that ain't a top-notch site, you know? So yeah, they're doing this quite a bit. What do I think about Greg Kovacs? He was the original freak, I guess, you know? Really, even before Dave Palumbo. He was an absolute monster. He was in all those Muscle Tech ads. And, you know, sad that he passed away. Yes, Genova blowing me up with the question marks. They probably are owned by one parent company, technically. I wouldn't be surprised. And yes, I had a friend that told me that Xvideos worked fine also. Good old Xvideos, that site's been around forever. MindGeek. But they changed the same to something else. That is also correct. I read that also. Benson Summer says, I don't think that you can watch porn in Pyongyang even with a VPN, bro. Wow. Interesting. I didn't know that. This is just what I had assumed. I'm also not the most tech savvy guy, so. Anyway, I was telling the guys that were on here yesterday that I forgot how powerful of a product Letro is from Blackstone. I haven't used it in years, and as soon as I got on it, I started dropping weight again. I started blasting through the plateau that I was on. I actually called Jared and I was like, dude, this is a crazy product. You really hit a home run when you designed this one. And the funny thing is everybody takes Arimistane, which there are different companies that have Arimistane products, right? High Tech's got theirs. We have Eradicate. And you know, listen, Arimistane is great. It's safe for women to use also, but it actually blows Arimistane away. Blows Eradicate away. It's not even close how fast that it works, so. Anyway, I'm hitting 35 minutes, so I said I was only going to do 30. Actually feel fine right now, knock on wood. But I appreciate you guys getting on. I'm going to try to keep doing this every day. Get back in my rhythm again. I know I haven't done any good YouTube videos in a while. Now the YouTube videos is partly because of the baby, for sure. I haven't been in a setting where I can really get away and do stuff. We're really hands-on with the baby. But anyway, classic Genova quotes. I love it. But I appreciate you guys. I'll be back on here tomorrow. Love you all. God bless you all. Peace out. Bye.